Well, hello everyone. So it is Wednesday, which means it is time for a Top 5 Wednesday. Top 5 Wednesday is a Goodreads group, YouTube series thingy created by Ginger Reads Laney. And this week's topic is books with little to no romance, which is fun to think about because, well, I don't hate the shipping topics. We're talking about shipping. It does seem to come up a lot, which I understand is a popular thing. But when you really think about it, especially in YA, it is kind of hard to find books that don't have any romance at all. And again, there's nothing wrong with romance, but, people, even younger people, are a little bit more complex than that. I think about other things. I know I did when I was younger, and I still do now. So here are books that I've read that have very little or no romance, or it's anything about it is just slightly mentioned. So at number 5, I'm going to put these at number 5 and 4, just because I don't have the copies with me at the moment. But I really did enjoy the books. And I would say The Lovely Bones and Speak. Probably Speak would be at number 5 because it is a YA book and everything, and it does deal with high school and stuff like that. It is about a girl who is assaulted at a party, and she calls the cops, and it basically makes her lose her friends. And it's about her dealing with that and starting high school and stuff. So, whereas The Lovely Bones is about a young girl who is murdered by a neighbor. And, well, I mean, to be honest, there actually was a bit more, I wouldn't even say romance. It's just that her family kind of almost started certain affairs and stuff over, the tragedy of losing her. So, I mean, I don't know if you would even count that or whatever, but I think 4 and 5, that they're pretty good up there. I mean, the tragedy in the book is so much you really don't pay attention to that kind of stuff as romance, so I'm just going to leave it at number 4. At number 3, The Maze Runner. This is about a young man named Thomas who is lowered into this maze. And he has no memory of who he is or why he's there. And besides this one girl that shows up and is unconscious for most of the book, it's pretty much all guys. And there's no kind of romance between any of them, nothing that I picked up on. And so, yeah, very, very little mention of anything like that at all. The next book, which is number 2, Unwind. This is a young adult dystopian about a very twisted way people solved the war between pro-life and pro-choice people. Basically, it is illegal to have an abortion, but once your child turns 13, you can have them taken apart. And this follows 3 children on the run from unwinding. Very good book. I actually originally read this on my Nook, and I loved it, and I recommend it. It's a dark story. And then at number 1, I just got done watching the movie again. At first, I really didn't like the movie too much because it really did lack and everything. But I watched it a few more times, and while it's not as good as the book, which they hardly ever are, I do still enjoy it. This book really had very little romance. I read this book because I loved the Hunger Games, and I loved that concept in the story, and this actually came out first. It's a lot thicker, a lot more violent, while teens liking teens is talked about. It's more or less the fight and the violence and the survival that really takes the center point of the story. And that is Battle Royale. Love this book. The cover is so awesome. I got this at Barnes & Noble. It is just so thick. Hardly any romance mentioned really in this. I mean, as compared to something like Twilight or something. But yeah. So those were my top books with little to no romance. Like I said, I have nothing against it, but once in a while it's nice to read something where that's not really the center focus. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.